Paw Zazz is canceled. Canceled. Cancel Paw Zazz. They're hurting animals. An animal died. Crazy stuff. Oh my gosh. I'd like to give a few shout outs today to some very special people who are always checking up on us and great supporters of Paw Zazz. Nita Morales, I love you, darling. Thank you for always being there for us. Lindsay Fallon, hey, thank you for always checking up on us as well. So let's talk about it. Let's get into it. It's been quite the winter. And I'll start with probably the slightest thing that happened was we've had back-to-back winter storms here in Massachusetts, and in one of the winter storms, my husband, that you guys have seen on this forum, was going to Paw Zazz actually to do some snow shoveling, and he slipped on some black ice and the car just went right into the building. Not very fast or anything, but it did slide into the building and hit one side of the building, and yeah, we got some damage to our car. So we had our first accident. Actually, as we've been married now for over 20 years, and I don't think he's ever been in an accident once. So this is pretty significant that should happen. He's a pretty careful driver. So, but yes, so now we had a damaged car. So no big deal, right? But it was the beginning of the events. It was just a premonition, I guess. So a few weeks after that, with our back-to-back snowstorms, he mentions that he was actually at Paw Zazz shoveling again. And he mentioned that he wasn't feeling great, but it was probably because he'd been shoveling snow all day and he was wet and tired, but he just felt, kind of achy and he just didn't feel great. So I said, well, why don't you wrap it up and come on back home? I have nice hot chocolate waiting and he can warm up and the snow can keep till the next day. And so then he mentions something that made my ears go, he said, and I have a runny nose. And recently we'd had the OMARION. I'll call it OMARION because YouTube likes to censor things and they don't like that particular thing being mentioned, but all of you understand what I'm talking about. The symptoms that the people around us had been having were a runny nose. And so I immediately said, stop at the pharmacy, pick up a couple of tests and tests before you come. Test yourself for the OMARION before you come home. And he said, no, I don't think it's anything like that. I just think I might have caught the cold or it might be a flu. I said, it might be, but just in case, take the test before you come home, because I'm at home with our set of twins that are 10 years old. So it's pretty important that if the OMARION is drifting around, that we kind of keep it contained. And thank God that I did, because after he tested, he did turn out positive. So we immediately had to go into action. We got him isolated in a nice room and kept him comfortable with cold medication and some warm drinks. And everybody knows the regimen now for how to handle the OMARION. So I had him tucked away, and now I had the children. And I'm keeping everybody separate, and I'm doing tons and tons of cleaning and disinfecting to make sure that we contain the virus. That was my biggest thing. I wanted to contain the virus because there's two parents here, and that we need to have at least one parent who is healthy. So simple, right? I mean, lots of people have had the OMARION come cruising through their household, and they've been fine, right? So I can handle it. So I have my husband isolated, I have the children over another section of the house, and I'm running back and forth, making sure that he's hydrated, medicated, comfortable, and also taking care of the children. And lo and behold, 3 days later, my daughter is sitting in front of me, playing on her iPad, I think, and she has a runny nose. So I say, why don't you come over here? And I had a few extra tester kits, so I swabbed her, and sure enough, before the swab had even hit the tester, she was positive. So off she went into her bedroom, and now I have my husband isolated in one room and she's isolated in the other, and now I'm really doing marathons trying to make sure everybody's hydrated, fed, you just name it. So this should have been fine, right? The OMARION usually lasts between, I think it's 5 to 7 days, probably. Well, we were isolated in the house for 14 days. 14 days because my husband kept on testing positive. He tested positive at 5 days. He tested positive at 7 days. He tested positive at 10 days. And it was like, it seemed like it was endless. It wasn't going to end. But finally, on the 14th day, he was negative, and yay, it was great. The doors flung open like in the movies, and we were all released from the house. So the good news is that even though my husband and daughter did come up positive, my son and I remain negative, and we remain negative to this day by the grace of God. We did everything that we could possibly do to make sure of that, and that happened. And I was happy that at least one parent was healthy and able to take care of the whole household. So back in, I guess it was about January or February, somewhere around there, I started getting these weird hate messages, voicemail messages, email messages coming into the business. And if you know anything about being on the internet, you're told that you will need to develop a thick skin because people will troll you, and there's the keyboard warriors, and their goal is just to bring people down and to be negative. And yes, I know this channel is about pet grooming and loving pets and everything cushy about pets, but yeah, you could still get some hate about that, I guess. I don't know where you would squeeze that in, but I guess it is possible. So I just kind of chalked it up to that. The messages were, I can't believe you treat animals this way. I'm going to make sure that your business is closed down. Canceled. Paw Zazz is going to be canceled. I'm calling the police on you. I mean, it was really crazy. I mean, I've been in business now 16 years, and I've never heard such craziness. I mean, it just didn't make any sense. Until actually one of you here posed a question on one of the videos that I had run, I think back in Vlogmas. I think it was the Vlogmas period, and the person, I'm so sorry, I don't remember your name. If I do, I'll post it somewhere up here and give you credit for it, because I had posted a playful video of the dogs in daycare just romping around in the backyard. And this person said, are you the guys that are in the news? Or, something to that effect. Are you the folks in Las Vegas? And I thought to myself, what is this person talking about? What about Las Vegas? Because if you're here, you may or may not know, but my business is based out of Massachusetts. We're on the East Coast. Las Vegas is on the West Coast of the United States of America. It couldn't be far away enough from us, if possible. If any further, they'd be in the ocean, okay? So I think, I gotta Google this. What's going on? So here it is. I gotta give props to my husband, Kevin. Kevin, you were right. 16 years ago, he had mentioned to me that I needed to copyright the name Paw Zazz. At the time, there was no businesses out there by the name of Paw Zazz. Now there are several. Reason I didn't go ahead and trademark the name was because I was just starting out in business, folks. I hardly had 2 pennies, let alone thousands or hundreds of dollars to sink into a trademark. But hindsight is always 20/20. I should have done that. Kevin, you were right, okay? We have evidence that I have said that you were right, okay? I should have trademarked the name. Because lo and behold, I'm not going to put it right here because I don't have anything against this business. The only thing that we have in common is the name. Their business name starts with Paw Zazz, just like mine. But they are based in Las Vegas, and they got into a heap of trouble earlier on this year. I don't want to say very much about it because I don't want to be drawn into any kind of litigation. But if you're interested, you can go and Google Paw Zazz Las Vegas, and you will have pages and pages and pages of information that you can go through. So unfortunately, keyboard sleuths not paying attention and just assuming that there was only one Paw Zazz had gotten wind of the problems that were surrounding Paw Zazz in Las Vegas. No connection to my business in Massachusetts. And were directing all their anger, all their hate, warranted or not. It was just not deserved on my part because I had nothing to do with that business other than the fact that we hold similar. The first 2 words of our businesses are the same. But we're in 2 completely different states, hundreds and thousands of miles apart. So that was a nightmare in itself. Because my whole team felt a certain way about this, obviously. The fact that we were getting these phone calls and emails maligning our business, and we are nothing but upright, forthcoming, nothing to the context of what was being portrayed or will in what you are going to find out as to what was going on in this business. Not associated with ours, out in Las Vegas. So we were returning emails. We were giving people calls back. We were just trying to clear our name. And that was, it was quite emotional. It was quite emotional because it just was, the people that were attacking us had their valid reasons for feeling the way that they did, but they were attacking the wrong party. So, and we felt like it was upon us to inform them that, listen, you're probably right to be annoyed, but not with us. We're not the party. But I'm telling you, it did take a toll on myself and my team, and that. It took us a few weeks, I'd say the better part of a month, just trying to clean this whole situation up and right ourselves up. So on the flip side of that, we got lots of wonderful messages from present clients, old clients, just with their support of us and saying, whatever is going on in the media, it can't possibly be the business that I've been to or I currently go to, because those guys are wonderful. They would never do A, B, C, D, E, which is what you're going to find out when you go on online. And so it really made us feel good that people knew our character, our values, and stood by us. Even though they didn't, they knew without even digging very far that you guys must have the wrong place. It can't be the Paw Zazz that we know. So Paw Zazz is not canceled in Haverhill. And I think my husband is right. I need to trademark our name. Although there are quite a few Paw Zazzes out there now, at least we can trademark the name the way that it stands right now, including the daycare center. But yes, folks, no, Paw Zazz is not going anywhere. We're here to stay. We've been here now 16 years. Woohoo! We're going to play a little bit of a firework. We just cleared our 1-year anniversary in our new location, of which you guys came step by step with us with the build out. And it marks 16 years in business now. Paw Zazz was established in Haverhill in 2006. Wow. Okay. I don't want to date myself. I started Paw Zazz when I was only 9, right? But anyhow, I hope that explains, or at least gives you guys a good idea as to what's been going on. I've missed you all. We will be back with grooming videos, daycare videos, and actually, I think I've finally been convinced by a really good friend to do Ask a Groomer. So I'm going to provide, you can leave your questions down in the comment section below, but I will also be taking emails and taking questions on my Facebook page of Paw Zazz Pet Grooming and Daycare Center of Ask a Groomer. Just ask me anything and I will be here every week, at least once a week, with Ask a Groomer questions. Just ask away and I will be here to answer. Thank you again. See you next time. Bye. From all of us from Paw Zazz, thank you for stopping by, and we'll see you on the next video. Thank you.